Hi, so in this video we're going to talk about how to be more stylish in your salsa dancing. Hi, my name is Maria Palmieri.
Hi, this is Joel Dominguez.
And we are from Joel Salsa and My Salsa Online. We run one of the biggest schools in New York City, biggest salsa schools in New York City. And also we are the creators of My Salsa Online, which is a worldwide online salsa dance school.
Cool. So in this video, like we mentioned before, we're going to talk about the stylish. But the stylish or styling cover a lot of topics. On this specific video, we are going to talk about how to use the floor and also how to be more dynamic whenever you either lead or follow the turns.
Yes. So again, ladies, styling can mean a bunch of things. Of course, we can add hips, we can add arms, but specifically in this video, because we will do more, we're going to talk about using the floor just to get a more grounded look and a more like hip motion look rather than looking flat, right? We will show you the difference, okay?
So let's show the difference right now. So you dance in here, right? If I just put the mechanics, this is just the mechanics. We don't use any dynamic. Maria doesn't gonna use any.
I'm not using the floor. I'm just
marching on the floor.
Walking.
So if we're doing this.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Right here, there's no emphasis on the floor. There's just pretty much we're doing flat.
And timing wise, is correct. It's not wrong.
1, 2,
but the thing
3.
is that average dancer will look like this when the people that actually look extraordinary, that means that they do extra from the ordinary stuff, which is this. You don't have to exaggerate, but you can start applying a little more movement on the body, a little more control, a little more pushing from the floor. For example, you can do a simple crossbar lead and make it look completely different. It's just because you do something extraordinary, right? So yes. Keep that in mind.
Yes, you're actually, ladies, I will break it down and then Joelle will break it down too. I mean, basically we're doing the same thing as a male and a female and a male, but obviously I add a little extra because I want to, show off the hips a little bit more. So, but what I'm really doing is anytime I'll do it in this direction, anytime I even take my first step, and I'm going to show this on 2 timing because that's what we dance. So anytime I even take my first step, I already am touching the ball first on the floor. So I'm already looking to add some emphasis on the dance floor, right? And add the ball of the foot inside the floor. So the ball of the foot should be feeling like this, right? So your first step is gung gung, or your 1, and then your 2 is actually pushing. 2, 3. Notice majority of my weight is in the center, so I can get more emphasis on the 2, and I'm actually pushing and sending the hip back. 2, 3. 2, 3, 2, 3. I have a bent knee, so I am also sending the hip back, and it's just the torso. The head is not moving. It's not doing 2, 3, right? Again, this is flat. I keep my head level, and I'm pushing from the hips. I'm pushing the floor. So it's
and
press and
just
push.
Just as a note, notice that
Press
she bends this knee. So she actually go on the floor. Now you go around it, so you can actually transfer the weight, like Maria said,
so
right?
Yeah, I'll show you.
Instead, keep it straight.
I'll show you from the beginning. The first step is even bent. So this is gung gung. 2, 3, gung gung, 6 and 7. And maybe this is too much for you, but just to get the understanding that there is actually a pushing, a pressing, and a pushing or emphasis, so you can understand. First, you can exaggerate just to train the body, and then eventually you can just calm it down and become more subtle, but the body is still doing the same thing, right? So the way I trained myself is I really was exaggerating the push, right? And even the push in the center and the push, so that my body started absorbing the information. Yeah? And then little by little, I bring it down a notch.
Now, guys, what you're doing in these cases, pretty much we're using the same techniques, the same stuff. We just don't move too much the hips because it would not anyways the natural way to do. But you still move the hips. They just don't look as emphasis as the girls, just because the way our body is. But it's still,
slow.
we actually...
Quick, slow, quick.
And I want you to notice here, I will do it very slow, and I want you to notice how we actually bend the knees here. Bend, step, and bend.
Bend and straighten.
So this is super slow, but I want you to notice how the whole time the knees are bending. So from here I can change back, or I can change the other way, or I can change this way, or I can change the weight to start moving the next leg. So come back to the center, change your weight, so then you move the next leg. Again, here, change the weight and bend, and then you go, yes? So always the transfer of the weight here, so or bending your knees, it will make it better than you just go flat.
Yes, and also we talk about this in our classes a lot. We talk about using the home base, right? The home base, as I mentioned, I keep the majority of the weight in the center, so I don't even out the steps, right? So this is where the majority of the weight is in the center. And when I come outside the body, this is pressure. This is pressure and then back to home. Yeah, I'll do it this way. Pressure, back to home where the majority of the weight is. Otherwise, if I even everything out, it just is like, this is even, right? I don't know where home is, and I don't know where my forward and my back break is, right? So I have to know that the majority of the weight, pressure, push back to home. All the way home, pressure, push back to home. So you have to understand what this is where you know where your center is, right? Again, we don't dance like really big steps. That's not our style. You can refer to the video that we have done tumbao versus numbers, where we keep the conga beat, or actually the tunes of the conga
you
in the center.
You will see the link around this video, so make sure that you click it that you want to refer it.
Yes, that's also another way to look stylish, right? You're actually listening to something in the song. So we do talk about, you'll see how we dance really close, and then this is a little bit further. Close, further. And again, I have more control here in the center, so I can add more body movement. So always think home base, ba, ba, home base, ba, ba, home base, ba, ba. Same thing in turns. Ba, ba, home base, ba, ba. Yeah?
Now, guys, I didn't do it, but it applies exactly the same thing for guys. So don't think that it doesn't apply it. So if we dance in here, kung kung, bam, bam, kung kung, ladies turn, kung kung, applies the pressure, kung kung, bam, bam, home, bam, bam, home, right turn, home, back, and when I mean home, or we mean home, doesn't mean that we have to break or because that will give us to the same kind of flat, right? So even if it's kind of home, it kind of still moving.
You're moving through your slow. You're moving. So the energy never stops. Energy never stops.
So this is pretty much a very good beginning to start applying this. So right now we don't want to concentrate on all these hands and all this thing and all this shaming, all these shaking shoulders and stuff like that. We want you to concentrate on use the floor. Once you start using the floor and you're rounded, for example, Maria can show some of the hands, stuff like that on the next videos. And guys, I will show you also once you're rounded, how to lead the lady with the styling and continue moving your body as you are connected.
Yes,
okay?
And taking the basics, like adding style to the basics, also you can add it when you're traveling too. So just really quick, when you're doing crossbody lead, pushing of the floor goes through everything, right? Whether you're standing here or whether the guy is taking you in a travel, I still am using the floor the whole time, right? So again, we will discuss that in more videos, but we just want to discuss it, how to style your basic step.
Okay, so now we're going to do a very quick demo, okay, on how to see the both ways. So one will be a little bit flat, still keeping the timing, but the other one will be more, still keeping the timing with a little more stylish.
Dynamics on the floor, yeah? Okay. So the flat way,
this
2,
is the
3,
flat way.
5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3. So I'm not using anything, I'm just dancing, kind of like walking my steps, yes?
Now
I'm
with a little more energy,
push,
like
home,
really mean
push,
it.
Home, push,
Bam,
home.
Push and kung. Ba. Even this, if we do it flat.
1, 2, 3, 6, 7.
With energy.
3, 6, 7. 2, 3.
Yeah, so don't forget to visit our websites in case that you need more information. If you live in New York City, we have joelsalsa.com, which is where we teach in our local classes in our studio. But if you are in another part of the world, remember to visit mysalsaonline.com, which is our online school. And one more thing
also
is...
subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the button somewhere in the video.
Yes, somewhere around here you will see the button. Just click the subscribe. And don't forget to click the little bell that is around the area too, to make sure that whenever we put a new video, you don't miss the notifications.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Joel Dominguez.
Maria Palmieri.
See you soon.